Did you know that the greatest commandment of all is love? And love is actually a gift from God, a gift that we need. God gives things because we need them. And of course, He gives things because we want them as well. But there are a set of things that God has given us that we never had to ask for. Now, there may be times in your life where you had to ask for love. You had to try to get someone to trust in you or believe in you or to see your worth. But with God, we don't have to do those things. So I want to encourage you to start to see life in a different perspective, that I can love the life that I'm living, whether or not I'm going through a good day or a bad day. Through all circumstances of life, I can love life. I can love others. I can love my enemies. I can love myself, because love is the greatest gift of them all. So like I said, love is a commandment. God tells us to love, love, love. And because if we just look at God's generosity towards His children, He has given us something that is a gift such as love to demonstrate all over our lives. So don't you think that with Him asking that from us, that He must have given it to us first? See, the thing about God is He doesn't ask anything from us that He hasn't done Himself. He is one of those fathers that practice what they preach. He is an example. He is an example that we can utilize through all aspects of our lives, no matter what we're going through. And I just felt God's presence say that because I created you in love, I want you to live in love. I want you to see that you are a masterpiece, because that's what I've created you to be. So I want to invite you to this healing program here at Sacred Care Services. If there's something in your life that you're having a hard time loving, whether you're having a hard time loving going through it, or just loving in that relationship, or loving that about yourself, or loving the challenge that you're going through, I want to encourage you to sign up for this healing program. It doesn't matter if you are challenged in fear, doubt, unbelief, anger, unforgiveness, bitterness, resentment, depression, anxiety. Whatever the challenge is, whatever life challenge it is, there's always a bigger picture to everything. I am learning that with God. I've been learning that with God for a while, since I've started this journey. And something that we do here is we look at the other side, the side that you can't see. Now, when I was wrestling with anxiety and depression and fear and doubt, guys, I had a whole list of challenges that I was going through and that I still have to overcome daily, because healing on purpose is an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. You never know when a trigger is going to pop up. You never know when life's going to get difficult. But God tells us to stand firm in truth. He tells us to stand firm in love. And He wants us to love Him. He wants us to love ourselves. And He wants us to love others. So what I have found with coaching believers is that there's usually some area in life that they don't love. And there's something that tries to attack them personally in that challenge. Whether it's anxiety or depression or fear, the devil does not want you to love God's plan. He does not want you to discover God's plan. He does not want you to walk in God's plan. And a part of God's plan is loving you, because you are the masterpiece. He sees you as beautiful. Do you see yourself that way? Is there something about you that you find weak and you're having a hard time surrendering to God? Is there something that you have a hard time believing that's possible for your future? What is it? What is it? What is it that you don't love? If you find that one thing, if I haven't already mentioned, one of those things in your life that you may not love, I encourage you to find that one thing, because we all have a weakness about us that we don't love. And that is why God tells us to give Him our weaknesses. And here at this healing program, for the next, I believe it's like 14 or 13 weeks, we are going to be healing and transforming into everything that God wants us to be. We are just getting started here in this healing program of doing the work that needs to be done in ourselves and picking up those tools that actually get us unstuck. I don't know about you, but I've had multiple times in my life where I was stuck. I was having a hard time moving forward. I faced confusion. I faced doubt. I faced fear. I faced unbelief of what was possible for my life. So there was a lot of things that held me back because I was limited by what I believed. I was limited because I wasn't using what I knew. And there was a lot of things that I didn't know. But here in the healing program, you're going to get to discover your authentic you. God hasn't created you to be anybody else but you. He doesn't want you to follow the latest trends or anything else that's happening in this world. He's created everybody to be uniquely themselves. So I encourage you to join me in discovering your authentic self, uncovering the things that have been hidden that are dark and need to be brought to the surface so that they can be removed. If you bury something for so long, what happens is it becomes a part of you even when you don't know that it is. There's such a numbness that is caused by trauma and stress and even difficulty, especially if you're someone who continues to go through difficult season after difficult season after difficult season. And I have been there. But what I do know and what I can promise you, again, is that God has a plan. And in his plan, he said that he's going to prosper you, that his plan is not to harm you, but to give you hope and a future. So we have to trust that God's plan is true, because when we trust our own plans, where has it been getting us? Absolutely nowhere. We either get so far and then we get stuck again, or we start to take steps back. And God wants us to do the good work. But first, the good work starts with the masterpiece. So here in the healing program, we are working on that, the masterpiece. You are the gift. You are enough. You are worthy. And this is God's plan, is for you to start working on yourself, taking it to the next level, getting support in what you're going through, because you're worth it. Because these things can't keep on going on and going on, because there's too much planned over your life. That if you keep carrying these burdens, what will happen is limitation will keep on setting you back and back. And I know that you're not someone that wants to keep being set back. There's something that you don't love, and there's a spark in you that says, I want more. And I encourage you to follow that more onto the healing program. Sign up for that so that you can start to discover that for yourself. What is the more that God has for you? What does that look like? How do you keep on staying on that road of moving forward, the straight, narrow way, instead of looking at all the directions of life and getting distracted and looking at the past? It's time to let the past be in the past. It's time to let all the things that are to the left of you and the right to you to be no longer fixed in your eyesight. But instead, God said, I'm straight ahead of you. Just like he said to Peter, he said, here's my hand, basically. Look at me, keep focused on me. And in this healing program, it's about focusing on God and you. And you starting to work out some things in your life that have been sabotaging you for a long time. So I encourage you to come in, sit in the space of healing, and receive transformation. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the sign-up list. Until next time, remain putting your hope in God, and remember that you're worthy, you're enough, you're the masterpiece. See you next time.